Shalom Israel. First, I'm going to start by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles, and bishops, the GMS Great Millstone, who rule well, teach and edify in peace and blessings. And to you, hopefully, like the Akim and Akwat in this household of faith. My name is Ishai from the GMS Arizona Church. I don't want to going to make an edifying video. Going into a righteous man falls 7 times, but get it back up, And when you fall, you have to trust the Spirit to get back up. Okay, there's gonna be times where you're down and out, you're on your ass, you feel like your back's against the wall, and at that stage as well is when the most growth happens. When the Lord starts showing you, who He is. When all else feels like damn, but sometimes the Lord's got to flex on you. To put it, wish there was a better way that I knew to put it, but it's kind of like that, where, you think that all else has failed and, you're completely down and out. And then the Lord comes through and just pulls it all together at the last second. This faith, that we're in is it takes a lot of trust, man. It takes a lot of fear and faith to be in this, because there's going to be times where you feel like there's just, there's nothing. Like, damn, I'm down and out, whether that be, you feel like, the Spirit ain't on you, or whether that be, your carnal situations. Shit, somebody might have took your kid, somebody, you might have got fired, laid off, this and that and the third. All right. But at the end of the day, you have to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hebrews 11:1. For now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That faith is the substance of things hoped for. We have faith that the Lord will deliver us out of our situations. We have faith. The scriptures talk about, I will deliver thee in talking about in Job, I will deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea 7, roughly paraphrasing that. It's like the Lord will deliver you. The Lord will bring you out of that situation. The Lord will get you. The Lord's got your back. All right. And sometimes you might have to fall on your ass. You might have to take the bullet. You might have to bite the bullet. But, the Lord is not an unjust power. All right. He renders according to every man their own works. All right. So you get exactly what you deserve. He doesn't make lapses in judgment. All right. The Lord's judgment is completely perfect. So if you're going through a certain thing, say you're going through a chastisement and then the Lord gets you out of that at the end of it. Okay, cool. The Lord's trying to build you up. But say you're going through some hell, it's like, damn, like, fuck, it's deserved. It's deserved hell. You pay for things that you've done in the past lives. You pay for things you've done in this life before you came into the truth, while you're in the truth, and you have to pay that back, because ultimately the Lord gave us instructions to live by, and those weren't abided by. All right. And it's a good thing that you go through that, because if you don't go through the chastisement, the scriptures refer to you as a bastard. But let's see. Proverbs says a just man falls 7 times. Proverbs 24:16. A just man falls 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked fall into mischief. All right, so the just man, like a man that actually I want to read that in the NLT. So Proverbs 24:16 in this NLT says, the godly man trips 7 times, but they will get up. But one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked. Okay, so the godly man trips 7 times. And that's the thing about this truth. This is a straight gate. Okay, you're not going to be able to walk this straight gate perfectly, because the only man that was able to do it was Yahushua himself when he was here on earth. Okay, that was the man that was able to walk this straight gate perfectly, foot in front of the other, no trips, no falls. All right, but even in his own lot, there was many vexing things. All right, when he was on the cross, he thought the Lord forsook him. Like, oh, Lord, why hast thou forsaken me? And that's the thing, man. You're gonna go through shit in this, You're going to go through a lot of bullshit in this truth, a lot of trying situations, a lot of just not so pleasant things. But you have to have faith that the Lord is going to deliver you on the other side. Because at the end of the day, you live your life unto the Lord regardless of however you feel about it. Hebrews, the 6th chapter and the 17th verse, it says, "Wherein Yahweh Shem Yahushai, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel confirmed by an oath." So the Lord, he sticks to his word. The Lord sticks to his word. He made an oath. It says that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for the Lord to lie, but he might have a strong consolation who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope set before us. It's impossible for the Lord to lie. The Lord swore, by an oath of his name, and there's no greater thing that you can, swear by. You can say you swear on goods, or you swear on gold, you swear on your name, you swear on, I don't know, a lot of Jake be like, "on my mama" and shit like that. But they don't truly mean it. It's a very, corrupted oath. But the Lord, swore by his name. That's the most highest esteemed thing that can ever be sworn by. Okay. And he promised to us, right, did this promise that he established even within our forefathers to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so which hope we have set as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast. So this hope that we have, and we just read in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, faith correlating to hope. Okay, we have this hope, this faith we have as an anchor of the soul. What does an anchor do? It holds things down. It keeps things in the right place. All right, you got a ship, you drop the anchor, the ship stays where the ship needs to be. All right, so, through the Spirit, you're that ship, you stay in this truth through that anchor of the soul, which you have in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, regardless of whatever waves come by you. Because ultimately, when that ship is anchored down, the waves aren't going to fucking stop just because the ship's anchored down. The waves are going to still keep coming. The winds are going to still keep coming. There might even be a hurricane or something like that. But this anchor is so strong that even through a hurricane, the ship's still going to be upright, and, it's not going to be capsized. And through faith, you have to understand, regardless of how fucking dire the situation may look, the ship is still going to be upright. Because ultimately, all hell's about to break loose. A storm of bad is about to come upon us. This day-to-day bullshit is going to be a thing of naught soon. You're not going to be worried about the fucking 9 to 5. You're not going to be worried about your next, you're not going to be worried about, the next movie coming out or something stupid like that. We're going to be entered into troubles. You see a ship anchored down in the sea and a hurricane's coming upon it. Everyone will be like, yeah, that ship's totally going to get capsized. That ship's done for. All right, but in this truth, you understand that, hey, anything is possible through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You have to set your whole spirit and truly be unmovable in his faith, like the scriptures tell you. You have to be unmovable, steadfast. Things are going to come at you, but, brothers say also it's about perception. Why are these things happening to you? Be in the spirit, okay? Think spiritually. When you start thinking spiritually, you break out of that fucking carnalized realm that has you in that fucking animalistic state. Like, damn, like this doesn't feel good. I want to do this to make me feel better. You feel me? You have to resort to the spirit at the end of the day. I wanted to get Philippians 4, and I'll just go straight to, I'll do 12. Actually, I'll do 11 as well. The spirit. Philippians 4 and 11. Now that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. So you have to be content in whatever state that you're in. If you're in a state where you feel like you're down and out, you're in a state where you feel like you're fucked up, well, you have to be content in that state and try to persevere past it. Putting on that whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You have to be spiritually minded whenever you perceive those type of things. Okay, or are you gonna? What warrior goes into battle and it's just like, man, this sucks. Man, I don't even feel like a soldier right now. Well, whether you feel like a soldier or not, you're in the middle of the war, so you better fucking get up and do something. Okay. Verse 12. I know both how to be abased and I know how to be abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and Salakia. I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So, hey, you know how to have things. You know how to, say you're in a season where you're not, not all things are too bad. Things are actually going pretty nice, right? You got to know how to enjoy that. You can't have high highs and you can't have low lows. You got to be temperate. There's a balance with all of this. Verse 13, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthen me. So have faith in the power in which it strengthens you. To feel like you can't persevere through certain things when you know the Lord is dealing with you is to have a lack of confidence in the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai with his ability to control those that he is over. He is our husband. That's like a wife being like faithless in her husband's ability to provide, to take care of things. Have faith that the husband Yahushai is going to be able to take care of you. All right. And this is a development thing too, as well. It takes time to build more faith to understand the levels of that, and the Lord will show you certain things in your life of like, wow, this is real. Like, say you can't pay this bill. The Lord going to send you some bread to pay the bill, but it's going to be at the last second. He's going to try you and he's going to, really search you out. You get vetted, the Lord checks you out. The Lord's going to really, work out all those imperfections. And even to the point where you could actually see your own imperfections. You'll be able to actually see on yourself. Like, you'll be like, damn, like in that situation, like I was actually tripping. Like the Lord came through and I was acting like kind of faithless, or, this situation, like, damn, like I thought I was fucked up, but like, it's not too bad. Like you're actually going to be able to look back and be like, damn, you didn't, at the time, it felt like the biggest problem in the world. But once you get past you, like, man, that wasn't shit. Okay. But that's because the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, was put upon you. But notwithstanding, notwithstanding, ye have well done that ye did communicate with my affection. In the NLT, it says, even so, you have done well to share with me in my present difficulty. I'm just finishing that out. So, if you're in a season of hell, all brothers are in a season. The Lord's sifting right now. The Lord's sifting. Is that Amos 8 or Amos 9? Okay, the Lord's sifting. He's going through things. That's why you got a lot of people that are bugging out. A lot of people that are leaving this truth, because this is the time, bro. Esau on the left-hand side is conjuring up a lot of, wicked, evil spirits. All right, wickedness is on high right now. It's on a high level right now. Okay, you have to be spiritually minded, man. If it's harder for you to read, harder for you to make videos, harder for you to, pay your bills, harder for you to do all that, this is all a part of it. Okay? When an enemy punches harder, what do you got to do? You got to put your guard up. You got to block. All right? You don't want to be that boxer that's so hard-headed that still doesn't put his guard up when this motherfucker's out here throwing haymakers and shit. Like you could eat those. Like, oh, I eat those. You might have been able to eat those in the first round, but guess what? We on the 10th round right now. The 11th round. Actually, damn near the 12th round. You still gonna eat those? Or hopefully that analogy kind of hit home with it. Put your guard up. Be spiritually minded. Think about what the type of things that are going on, man. A lot of evil's going on in this world. Pray this lesson was edifying. I want to lastly give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, Shalom.